Jeremy, you've written or said we could well have a hot war in Europe. I mean, you're imagining this scenario. How would that happen?
Yeah, so this just builds on what Eliot said. I think it's quite clear. I think the evidence is overwhelming that the Russian government has pursued a policy of trying to undermine liberal democratic order wherever it can. That Putin is not simply fighting a strategic game in the near abroad, but is seeking to weaken liberal democracies around the world. He sees them as a threat to his regime. He is acting in our country as a terrorist to try to tape the President of the United States and then use that information against the President to steal information. Right? This is what terrorists do. Right? This is terrorist-like behavior. And I think that the Trump administration, and maybe it will do this, has to first of all call it what it is, and then the Trump administration has to respond to it. Now that does not mean we have to go to war with Russia, but it means that the Russian government has to see that there will be costs to this behavior and that we will not allow this to continue when there's an election going on in France and in Germany in the coming year. How do we go to war? We go to war if we don't respond, and this continues. And we see further disintegration of democracies in Europe. Why does that lead to war? Because the hinge of peace and stability in Europe since 1945 has been democratic development. That is a Democratic and Republican position. It happens to be historically true.